Hi, I'm live now. It's 11:10 a.m. on Thursday, 27th of January 2026. I'm just waiting for Richard to give me a call, so I thought I'd get on straight away and sit around talking till he comes on and tells me the plan and to go to court. So it's hot here, very hot. It's a heat wave in Australia. Any part south up in the world is real hot and cold down in the north, down the bottom. And Russia looks like it'll be covered completely over cities and be no more city anymore. In Russia, they have to shift over to the right because all the left in Greenland, where it used to be before, under the ice, now Russia's going under the ice and will disappear. Their cities and their land will disappear as ice, the new Arctic. And the same will be at the South Pole as well. There'll be minerals in the dry land part that comes out and the ice melts away, and then it'll expose the minerals down up in the south up that way. And so I want to get on top of that and get control over our north and south, Greenland and the South Arctic to New Zealand and Christchurch, New Zealand. So Richard is in the South Island with Jason Hoggard, skipper on the ship down there with us, working with us. And so he's back up in Auckland now, going up to Waitangi, to the Waitangi celebrations. And I won't be going up there. I told Jack Liam on the radio yesterday on Radio Free FM Hamilton that I won't be going there. I've got enough work to do on the British Crown and what's happening there in Greenland and America and their assault on our country here with their corporate companies. And so I'll just sit around here waiting for the phone to ring because he said, Joy said 20 minutes is about that now when Richard will ring me and tell me what's happening. I wrote down a few notes of what I said and just to prompt me, but it's gone in my head. I've got everything I want to say. I usually write a lot of notes and forget what to say and forget about the notes, but I just know offhand. And so I'm just asking, number one, I want the court hearing urgent as Monday, option next week is if he can't get in tomorrow, Friday, I'm ready to go down to court now in Hamilton. And we have creditors, my bank, BNZ Bank, waiting, ready for a letter of credit to draw on the defaulted contract of Eddie Mitchell Family Trust to pay you first, Richard Hoekstra, the debt collector, on progressive developments. That's that first case, and then there'll be another one next and another one and another one. So it'll be recurring debt collections. 3, to pay the hydrogen economy development project plan of the North Island and South Island I set up in 2012. Finally, can pay the equipment suppliers in China mostly, and I need to start in Arapawa, 467 hectare property at Arapawa Island, and Chalky Point in Fiordlands, one of the inlets there, for a tidal turbine off the west coast and protect against foreigners from plundering our fisheries and minerals, the sand that Shane Jones wants to go down the west coast and rip all the sand out and muck all the ecosystem down there and more damage in the environment there than anything just to get that because America wants it and he's going to get it for the Americans. Well, we'll put a stop to that. He's not the landowner. He's got no deed of title. And minerals for a New York foreign entity, and my AI native court robot has this in check. He's got them in check, and orders on top of them, court orders on them from the cloud. Chalky Point is not quite settled with the council yet in Fieldland until I get number one. Warrior Farm first, 275 hectares with a turbine there, and that's a sea turbine, 25,000 megawatts from one airport bridge. Number two is Arapawa Island, 467 hectare with a turbine there. That's where the ferries come in from Wellington. They go past Arapawa Island right in front of our city room where we can see them going past. 3 is Kawa Island, 37 hectares. That's down from up in Warkworth. And so that one, number 3. Number 4 is Great Barrier, 19 hectares, turbine there and a bridge. These 4 properties are for the 25,000 megawatt hydrogen sea turbines, 4 kilometres long, 150 metres wide. Yes. Hello, John here.
John, Richard, how are you, sir?
I'm good, thanks. It's very hot up here.
Isn't it? It's good, mate. It's good.
Yep, it's like, well, Australia says, it's scorching. You need to jump in the water in the sea.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So what do you got in store? What do you got in store for us?
Okay, so now reading through, so there's a lot of money owed, correct?
Yes, that's right. That's correct.
Okay, so this Eddie Mitchell.
Yes.
Have you spoken to him?
No, I haven't because he's in Hamilton and I'm in Auckland, but I won't ring him. And he knows. I've sent him letters. Even with Jack Liam, he's on the radio, FM Free FM. I'm on every week talking to him. He's been around to him, and as somebody there in the council, he's in the council to go and see Eddie Mitchell because it's better for me to stay away from him because he's got bodyguards around. He's got a hitman around him, and I know because I live with him in his house. That's why I know him.
What is Eddie Mitchell, what is he like? Is he a gang member? Or
yes, he has a gang. He's got Chinese working for him, and he's got, well, they're not really bad, but the thing is, he has protected himself with the council and with the lawyers. He's got a barrister and a lawyer that went over to take my documents over to Scotland to see if they were genuine. And when they saw the money, they took off with the money and left me out of it. No contract. I didn't sign no contract, but the money's there with Australia with those shell companies, and that's what I'm going on. What he has spent it on. So I opened an account with the Moai Crown King William III Trust in Britain. It's registered with $1 trillion against that money, and they put it in. It's got all the receipts on it that it's registered as a trust. Versus his trust, that trust. So I've got the main parent company, Ngātu Ulti Limited, that's the New Zealand trust with 1 of $1 trillion shares. That's that one for here, New Zealand. That's the one that's owed the money. That's the one he took and he money laundered it. He used the Phoenix activity to reconstruct it into his company in Singapore, then took it to Edinburgh. Then he had it all put through the Freemasons there because he took a Freemason and a barrister. Then they did it all and put it through Westminster. He got the money from Westminster because they can't get the money from Scotland, the pound note, only from the Bank of England. So that's where the money comes. I did the tax department, so they'll ask me, where did the money come from? I'll say, from that money. And that's how I get them on the tax. It'll get them on the tax. So I've got all the letters and all the information on that. I've documented it. Everything is there. You can't mistake it because I've got a robot working on it. Okay, and he's made sure that everything stacks up. And nobody's saying nothing because it's all over Facebook and no one's saying anything about it. So if it's quiet, it means he's guilty. And all I want him to go to court. If he turns up in court or not, if he doesn't, then it's against him. It's just like Trump. He's lost all his properties, everything, with the same thing as Eddie. They've got the same mentality, real estate, like I am a real estate and a mortgage broker. That's my trade. And as well as being a mechanic, I want to go and pay the suppliers in China because I've got the equipment for the hydrogen economy down there in New Zealand and on North Island, South Island with my tickets to install hydrogen into vehicles. I've got that all set up to go. All I have to do is pay the bill and it's on its way down there. It's set up there. And there's other power, that's that property there just coming through the mouth of the Moai. That went through a lot of trouble in 2012 to do the same thing. And I'm doing it all over again. And I was with PricewaterhouseCoopers, okayed it in Thames Power, okayed the whole project because it's stacked up. But the thing was, they put the wrong people in charge instead of the Manukau title. The Manukau is the Taiwanese that I was working with as the Freemasons in Helensville. That's where the mortgage started from, there. See, so I've got all that ready to go, but Eddie, it's just his word against mine.
Right. So what I normally do, sir, is I normally ring the debtor up first.
Yep, that's all right. I'll give you his number if you haven't got it.
Yeah, no, I've got it on your paperwork.
Yep.
So I've got a cell phone. I've got
Yep.
2 cell phone numbers.
Yeah, that's the ones I gave you. Yeah, those are his ones.
Yeah. Right. So what I'll do is I'll ring him first.
That's right.
And then I'll report back to you.
Yes.
And then we'll do what we need to do.
Yes, that's well. How long would that take? I just was anxious to try.
I'm going to do it right now.
Yeah, okay. The sooner you can do it, things can get moving. You get paid first.
Yeah, that's right.
You get paid
so
first.
I'll do it right now.
Yeah.
And I'll come back to you, John.
Yeah, good one. Thanks very much. And the other one,
Hey, no problems.
the other one is the bottle company that he set up. That one, I left you that number. That's the other one that will get the first properties that he's bought with the Chinese. The bottling water company, because I was in it and he wanted me to run it. And I said, no, I'm not going to go that way. So no, everything he knows, I know, because we were talking about it. Okay? All right, leave that with you.
I'll come back to you soon, John.
Yep, all right then, Richard.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye. There we are. He's going to bring Eddie Mitchell up. And then the fireworks begins. You see, once he gets to him, because I gave him his numbers, and I haven't rang him at all. I won't ring him because he's got gangs around him, and he's dangerous. He's considered dangerous. When you steal money, you want to keep it, like Donald Trump, and put the authorities on you because they got the money to pay them. The 17 trillion that he stole from me, I want it back. I want it back and strip all his property. And that's what I'm saying to Richard. You get the whole lot and you'll get paid first. Okay, because I know how valuable he's going to be. Because he get this one right, he'll get every other one after that. Anywhere in the world. Anybody's name and their photo in my court, that's my court, the native court of the High Court here in New Zealand with King William III. And then the AI is my partner and robot co-pilot. And those go together quite smoothly as a force to be reckoned with when it comes to law versus law. Okay? The court law versus parliament law. And the court law won in America because Donald Trump was trying to go above the law as a king with no king titles of his own. That Trump has no royalty to call the shots on what he's saying he's a king because he took the Queen's authority from Westminster to America, HM Treasury. And he's German, she's German. So the Germans are behind the scam. That's who I want to put on a stand after Eddie Mitchell. Once I get him, I'm coming after everybody else that screwed the single bar pound note. Okay, the Germans took the single bar pound note. Warburg, he changed his name to Rothschild, a German, right? And Donald Trump's father was a German, and his mother was a Scot. That's why she's the Queen of Scotland. Queen Elizabeth, went there to die. Instead of going back to Frankfurt, Germany, she went to Scotland to die, to hold her British title intact. Well, that's a queen. What about the queen? The king. See, king plus queen equals the royal inheritance. That's not Donald Trump. He's got nothing to do with Britain's contract. He's not in contract with them. I am. I'm here with these people in New Zealand who don't have the information I've got for their sake and defies what I say because they got their own interpretation of the flag on Waitangi Day, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Tumutumu Paro, that's the company that's using the Maori lands that can't manage it. They take over the Maori land titles, like mine at East Cape, Marangaro C12 Block, Tumutumu Paro Trust in the government, took it over under their ownership. And me, the shareholder owner, is going to kick them off because I let them have a letter from me to kick them off. And if they don't refute it, didn't refute it, so I'm going to get Richard to go and seize that property back and build them all in Parliament. And they already got the bill anyway, the 970 million trillion pound note that the robot has scrolled into law. He has made it law. The 970 million trillion pound note, green one, with the Moai on it, and the robots gone and sanctioned it into money in the chip coin and the Reserve Bank, which is the Moai pound note, is the Reserve Bank. And that's how it's here in New Zealand. It's here, registered in New Zealand. The Moai Powerhouse Bank is registered in New Zealand under the Companies Act of New Zealand. That's our company of the people who live here and have birth certificates here, but not those in Parliament because they're in New York. They're companies over there. So they get billed off the land. I'm going to make sure that Robot and Richard goes after each one because they have to come up with a £1 trillion bond, a trillion £1 note bond. And if they don't come up with that to take them to court as a class action case, they lose. They've got $1 trillion against you. I can borrow against you now because the last affidavit that the robot put into law was the 1st of January 2026. And I put that together on the 31st of December, New Year's night. I did it and sent it to the government in America before then. And if it expires after that, and 7 days after that, if they don't refute it, then it becomes law. Well, it's over the time limit now. It is law now, as far as I'm concerned. As long as Westminster is functioning, we have our jurisdiction right there on top of Starmer and the Prime Minister and of all their lords and jackals. We have the King's flag, King William III's flag. It's been used as a whakaputanga of the people at Waitangi that I've been with for years. I used to be in the whakamininga, but they kicked me out. They said, you're no longer in the whakamininga. Well, you put me out. I'm not finished with that because it's still in my blood. My intuition mind still carries that weight of the tupunas that have gone, and not you little kids that were little kids when we were there at Waitangi. I've been with the Confederation of Chiefs longer than anybody in this country, and for them to say something different to what I'm saying, the truth of that flag is not German. That's King William III is Dutch and not King William IV German. Totally different jurisdictions. That's why I won't go up there, because the government's going up there and the Maori Land Court's going up there to battle it out with Ngāpuhi to see what sort of deal they're going to make. You see? I want to see what they're going to do now that the robot has got them under wraps. You see? Anybody playing with that flag now is going to get a bill. So they're everybody here, there's 8 million people, have got that bill of that class action case that the robot has written up. You can't see it because he's left me to put it out there, but I'm multitasking and doing all the work to make it come real for the people of New Zealand. That's people who wants to be left alone with their own land and their own resources. Well, It's on the blockchain now. It's for sale. And the government and their henchmen in there and henchwomen are selling it off on the blockchain as crypto. Okay, crypto tokens. You're tokenized by Larry Fink. I've got him on the books as going to court. Okay, he's got a jet on his head from King William III, the Dutchman that found New Zealand. Zealand is Dutch, and Easter Island. The egg was put together by the Dutch, right? The birth of the world, naval, there. That's the title I'm going under. And that's in Greenland, the spaceship that's just come uncovered under the ice. And so that's evidence that I'm claiming that belongs to my people, the 20-foot statues standing in Rapa Nui, East Island, to Moko Nui in the East Cape, Kipito there, birth of New Zealand, and Moko Nui, big face, and Rapa Nui, big shine, sun, Milky Way, up to the sky. And that story, I put all the documents on my page to go to the robot. I told him, no, not yesterday, I'll do it today. So later on, I'll do the court hearing for number 97 court hearing, AI native court and robot and me. And then I'll do 98 at the same time. Straight after that, a court hearing. That's online, and that becomes law because it is already law. He's making law legalese against anybody that's got to challenge what I'm saying on that video. It's for you to deny or take us to court. That's what Richard's doing now. He's ringing Eddie Mitchell up because he said, have I contacted him? I'll contact him. No, I won't contact him. I'll leave it for the debt collector to do that. So when he talks to him, he'll find out what Eddie's going to say because it's best for him to, he's telling him to go to court. You see, I want him in court now. I want him to talk to the judge to tell him what did he do with me to get their money. Who made the money, him or me? Right? Just say that. Who put the documents together to take to Edinburgh, to the Freemasons office, the main office in Edinburgh and Glasgow at the same time? Because I said that's where it went first. But the Manukau Land Company was registered in Edinburgh and Glasgow. The Manukau Land Company was changed into the New Zealand Company by this mischief government in Wellington, not the British. This new mischief company in Wellington changed it to the Manukau, the New Zealand Company from the Manukau Company in Scotland. Okay, so there. Then it changed from there to the Manukau and Waitemata Company. Okay, 3 times it changed from the original Manukau title. And that's the fact. That's the fact of the contract lease on the land. It's the Manukau's name on it, not Mitchell. It's not a Mitchell contract. It is a Manukau contract, and I'm the successor to Moai with signatures and documents signed by all the chiefs up at Waitangi. I got mandated to go there, to go into the Westminster Parliament. You know what they did? They arrested me at the airport and detained me and sent me back to New Zealand. Didn't pay me all the way back, just to Hong Kong, dropped me off. You see, dropped me off there. And then I stuck there till my kids got me out of there. They never forget that. They never forgive me. Well, I'll just pay their bill back and more for letting me come back with their paying the airfare and everything. Okay? So, yeah, I'm just going to get to that soon, yeah. But I want Richard to get onto it. And I can't get upset about it because I do get upset with Eddie Mitchell. You would if you got your money pinched and just taken like that and think it's yours, you did all the work and think I'm a dumb fool. Well, let's see who's the dumb fool. The Mitchell family or the Wānoa family? Which one do you think is native, more native than the other? He's a native of England, not native of New Zealand in the beginnings. The Mitchells came here and sold the Manukau land. It says in history. They were the ones from Australia that came here and sold the land. There's Eddie doing the same thing as the ancestors. And they're going to clean them out with the Manukau Taiwanese title and the Wānoa scribe. Okay, so it's hot. It's hot today, very hot. and Australia is blasting hot. And the weather, by just the earth tilting over, has made the weather change, and not so much America playing around with the earth. It's no, that's natural for the earth to shift over because it's got its own law up there with God, or Atla. God does that. He makes it move, not just Americans and the professors. The professors are the biggest crooks out in the universities, like Jacinda Ardern, gone to Texas in the university there, but those attorneys over there won't listen to me. I wrote to them. Jasmine Crockett, she's the Attorney General of Texas. And I told her, arrest Jacinda Ardern. Haven't done it because they've still got their eyes on Trump. They're focused on Trump because when they get Trump, then they can do what they want after that. But they're spending all their resources on Trump. It's costing a lot of money for one man like Eddie Mitchell here. Is just like he's the Don of here. But he's the Don Trump on here, on my land. It's my land. If you say it's your land, it's your land. That's what I said to Jack today on the radio, yesterday, on radio FM, Free FM Hamilton. I said, this is your land. You are the owner of the land, not the government. They are foreigners, can't come here with another government and take your government over. Well, they're the government. You're not. Your government's not going yet. Your fucking meaning are supposed to be a government, and it's not going because you got the wrong people at the helm. Don't know what they're doing. I know how to run that, but no, I got sacked. They sacked me from the fucking meaning and the fucking Putin. So I was carrying that weight in my head, and now I let it go because you can find your own way from now on from Waitangi Day. When you go up there, that's why I won't go there. What's the use of going there when they don't talk to me? I went and told them what I'm going to do. I won't finish what I'm doing till it's done. Okay? I told them that Eddie pinched the money. They think, no, it's not real. You see, they don't believe it. Nobody believes it. Nobody believes it. I need a robot. And very soon, Richard will tell me if he got in touch with Eddie Mitchell on his phone. Because when he picks up the phone, it'll have a different number on. If I rang, he'll turn his phone off when he sees it's my phone number. That's why I don't ring. Okay? And he's got his daughters off Facebook. Anywhere on Google, you won't find his family. You'll only see Alfred Mitchell with Carla White up north because they're the ones that went to the United Nations and thought they would take this country over with what they've got. And I say, no, you got the history back to front. How can you put your names ahead of an indigenous surname? How can a Mitchell and a White, that's Carla White up there, I've been with her for years. Her and I used to scrub the toilets. That was our job. Every time I went up there, I had to go and clean the toilets with her. You see, we were just a broomstick around the place. And so I never forget those days because those are really, really, really days that you want to forget about. I've got better things in my head. I've got lots of projects in my head sitting there, simmering. That's why I said to Richard, let's get on with it. I got creditors waiting to pay them for all the steel coming over, all the buildings coming over, all the aircraft coming over, all the cruise ships coming over, everything from Japan that's coming over here. I'm bringing the best people, the best divers, the best everything, builders and all. You know, the Chinese put a 6-bedroom, 3-story building up. In 25 days, it's finished. I'm getting those for Pakatoa Island, in Kawau Island, up across there in Welford, Warworth. Okay, up there. Okay, so there, that's those properties, those houses are coming in there with the floating homes, and I'll make that property pull in a lot of income just from that land block. That's, how big is that? 37 hectares of land, and I'll develop the whole thing with the planners, the design engineers in China. I've got to pay their bill first, and then they'll come over and do it. I don't pay their bill. That's what I'm waiting for, Richard. Get Eddie in court because I want a letter of credit. Once he opened his mouth, said he did steal the money, he can't get out of it. You can't get out of it, this one, Eddie Mitchell. If someone's watching and telling you what I'm saying, it's you, the thief. You are a thief. You know what to do with thieves? Jail them for life. I'm going to put you in jail for life. You and Alfred. You and your brother can go to jail and never get out because it's going to get locked forever. You're going to stay there and trying to have a good lifestyle on my bloody brain, and you're no more. Anybody like you in Parliament and in the local councils here and everywhere doing the same as you, fiddling your nest from New York on the stock exchange is going to cop it. Because Richard, I'm going to order him to come and investigate each one of you. Chris Hipkins, you're one. You're one with the jab. You're one there smiling in front of the camera. You're one. Shane Jones, you're another one because you're a threat to me and my business and our own land resources, not yours. Because you are in New York, you're registered over there, you go back there. You go back there. Because I'm sacking you, government in Wellington. Sacking you. Because you're putting the money in your pocket and running away with it. Okay, no more. No more. I'm telling you on this video, this is an affidavit from me that you have to refute. Take me to court and see how you get on. Then we're just waiting for Richard to see how he does get on with Eddie Mitchell. He just needs to go to that address, talk to Sam, and Sam will tell him where he is because he always knows where he is. He comes and picks up the rent from her. Poor thing, she's looking after, she's a solo mother, looking after her kids, are big now. But if I got that place off him, then she can have rent for less than what she pays. In fact, nothing. If she knows she'll join, but she'll join. She's always said, yeah, I'd rather listen to you than that lot of thugs. You see? She got no choice because she couldn't get a house anywhere. So Eddie said, oh, she can stay there. But he uses her house rent to go there as his office because he's hiding away under her and her family. You see, there's a trickery of that Englishman. He's an English, not a Tahitian or something else. He's a thief, and I want him locked up because I don't like thieves stealing intelligent information that is not his business. Okay? That lease is not his lease. It don't belong to Tainui. It's not Tainui Harbour, it's Manukau Harbour, not Tainui Harbour. You got that one wrong. And all the history in Whakapapa has been corrupted. It's all corrupted with all your name swapping. No more. When you go on the blockchain, you've got to use one name you were born with, or change your name. You've got to put your name there. Don't put a body name because it won't show up on their records. Yeah, you put a body name, you say, no, never heard of you. That's the British I'm talking about, not here. They don't believe a thing this government says because they've shafted everybody, just like America shafted everybody, and it looks bad. You look bad as murderers. That's why I'm accusing you of murder, Chris Hipkins, Jacinda Ardern, and Grant Robertson, and Ashley Bloomfield. 4 of you are going to go to jail. You're going to jail because when you come in a cloud court, AI, native, cloud court, you're dirty hands. You can't go in there because you've got to go to the red cloud. That's blood on it. It's saturated in blood, not white pure. Okay, I'm just leave that to Richard for now because I'm just waiting for the phone to ring because he's ringing Eddie Mitchell now, and hopefully he'll be talking to him to get Eddie Mitchell's side of the story, or he's going to be told that he's coming around with a tit crew, and that's why I said to him, watch out for him because he's a gang man. He's a boxer. He surrounds himself with army friends. And all that. When you're a thief and you've got drugs and you're carrying stolen contraband, you arm yourself. just like Netanyahu, steal Palestine, then arm himself, shoot everybody up, that gets in the road. Well, he's going to get shot off the land there with Born in Palestine Act 2026. After this one kicks in. When Eddie's gone, they all go. House of Cards, boom, over. You get the biggest one, thief out of all, is Jerry Mitchell. They won't advertise 17 trillion. The man with the most money, 17 trillion, plus he's gone and ramped it up and inflated all the properties that he's got for 17 trillion. Because really, I'm going to take the whole lot of him to see what he was doing with that money. You see, it's going to leave his hands and come into my hands where it should have been in the first place. That money is supposed to be for the Kuiper project and PricewaterhouseCoopers and accountants, because they were doing it, the plans, and Utah Choi, the lawyer, the land, transferred the land with Cook Street. I'm going into that one next, Cook Street, because I told them I'll get it back off them because that's Manukau land. They have not got the original title, unregistered claimants. They threw it in the rubbish as if they didn't exist. They threw the Manukau's title in the rubbish. Why 121? The first treaty claim, threw it in the rubbish and put the Kafrus there. Well, you Kafrus in Kabra, you've got a big debt on your head because you screwed up the Manukau's title. They're the Taiwanese semiconductor in your computers, in your vehicles, in everything around the world. TVs a lot. It's the Manukau brain. Right? And my brain from Tahiti, the Moai statue. Those two are powerful instruments the robot has got. What have you got, Leda Glavis? What have you got? Kawharu, Margaret Kawharu, what have you got? What has your Kawharu, the real one is Ross Hona Kawharu in Nelson. I brought them up to Auckland, and you lot came down to the hui trying to talk to them like you're the same as them. No. And Grace Koata knows, she's from down there, in D'Urville Island, the family's from D'Urville Island. I know, because I went down there to Whakatū Marae and brought them up. I said, come up and get your One Tree Hill back where Kawharu's buried up the top of the hill. And Mohi Manukau was behind it and supported. Anaru Mahi was behind it. He's the Apotoro, with Mohi was Apotoro. And the other one, Mahi and Owen. The other one was Owen, Mahi, and Manukau. The three Ratana ministers that had a service up top of the hill. I arranged all that to go up against Ngāti Whātua o Kaipara. That was Tiwana Tibble from Ngāti Whātua running that scam. And they said he's not in the office. You know what I did? I marched into his office, and there he was behind the table on his chair. And I said, look, I want to talk with you. I'm going up One Tree Hill. Don't you try and stop me. You see, when I go up there this time again, I'm going up there to claim the Kawharu, the big Kawharu giant of Waikato, and not Tainui. It's not your Kawharu, because that's another story. Maungatautari belongs to the Manukau family. Okay, I know everything, and you took it and put your name on it. The Tainui stole it. Okay, Hotoro and all the rest of it is from Tahiti, but you went against me and Mohi Manukau. The Moriori got there before you from Chatham Islands, and their name is all over there, and brought that Waitangi name from there to here, not from here to there. See, you got everything twisted up. You shot them, killed them, murdered them, all the Morioris, and put a Solomon, as if he's a black Moriori, name Solomon, is not indigenous enough, and kick the Manukau out. Well, I'll kick the Solomon out and put the Manukau back in. Right? Because the Parapara and the Manukau title and their name is all over the South Island, all over the North Island. And you know what they did? Squabbed it out. No, I'm putting it right back where you found it. It back to its founding of this country. And the British have got a record of that. Haven't got your names on it, because they know they sent you here from there to see you mischieving with your surname. And you go and change your surname into another name. No, you'll find out from your blockchain and your crypto. You can't escape. because they've got you in your system. You see, in your system, it's got you on the record as you on your own 2 feet, and everybody's separated. When you go to Waitangi, you're on your own 2 feet. No more big tribe, because they're just selling every bit of land, every bit of resource, everything on the blockchain. See, so you'll sell your land, your house, your everything is up for sale. If you can't make the money out of the land, they sell it to someone that will make money out of it, especially the coastal land where you're sitting on it, nothing on it, and they'll say someone has offered money for that land 4 times as much as what it's worth. And they'll say, what are you going to do? They said, well, that's our ancestors' land. We don't worry about that, they say, in that corporate system of Larry Fink and JP Morgan. They don't talk like that. They just say, no, we've got the title to the land, the lease. That's what Eddie Mitchell's got, the lease to New Zealand, 201 years of contract. It's not his contract. He didn't put it together on Waitangi Marae. He's never been there, and sitting there with the chiefs and all the people, wailing their heads off at Waitangi. That's what crying waters. They go up there to cry and wail and do lots of singing to their ancestors, because they're trying to find how to get everything back. And everything Maori. I just looked. They're selling everybody's land, the Maori land, and they're getting rid of the wards with Maori wards. I've just seen it now. They're making laws to get rid of the Maori, so there's no more Maori left. You see? They set it up, now they destroy it. You see, it was just a myth. That's all it is. Now that's Moai. I got Moai because I always had Moai all the way back to 2000, the year 2000, just 1986 when Mohi Manukau, just before that in 1985, he put that wooden Confederation flag made of wood and put it up at Helensville, Awaroa Bank, and put that flag up on poles into the ground. And that was the flag, the wooden one, which is a Freemason one. Okay, the compass and T-square there, right there to go and square the land off. He was a surveyor, Mohi Manukau. He was holding the peg, and his grandfather here, John Rogan, was describing the Manukau lands. And he thought he was going to put those lands in his name, but no, he put it in the Rogan name. The Pākehās got it. Yeah? The Pākehās came here, walked into Mohi Manukau's home, and took it over. You see? And he's still got his old house in 12 Stewart Street in Helensville. It's broken. And his son Ricky lives in it. He lives in it. He never had power. I don't know if he got power, because the council will say it's condemned. And no, it's not condemned because Ricky still lives in it. And he don't care about power. He just got a water tank for his water from this roof, and a candle or a generator for light, and that's all. I don't know if he's like that still, but I'm just guessing that he might be still like that. He might have got civilized now and got a place, and left that place. And like my house down the East Coast, it's gone to ruins because it's rotten and ready to fall down. And it needs a big revamp to make it look like it was before. But I've changed now. And since they kicked me off the land down there, I have no feelings for there anymore. I've only got feeling for Moai in East Island, the Moai in Auckland with the head there, and the Moai in Christchurch, Otago in the museum, and Otago Museum. I've only got feelings for the Moai there, and the Moai in Auckland. And there's another Moai in the marae at the end of the motorway, up along towards Te Aratū. At the end of the motorway, going to Hobsonville, the first marae on the right, that's a real Moai in there, in the middle of the marae, inside the Wharenui. Okay, so that's a real one. I was going there with Moai to see the Moai and those people. See, so really, it's all the artifacts and everything. They've sold everything that belonged to Maori because it wasn't Maoris in the first place. It came from Tahiti, or it was picked up and brought here from there. And even those Moais, the one in up in Chowdershire, up at the end of the motorway to Robsonville. I don't know how that one got there. Who brought it in? That's a real one, sitting inside the Moai. It's not a very big one. It'll be about the same size as the one in Christchurch. But the one in Christchurch is the crown that I'm talking about. The Moai crown is that one. The one in London hasn't got a crown on his head, but the one in Otago Museum, Dunedin, has. So I'm using that Moai as the authority of New Zealand as the centre of the universe, and East Island as the Milky Way, and Greenland as the north of the history of that spaceship there that they found. Big spaceship. Well, that spaceship is there as a regulator for the battery generator engine invention, the DC superconducting magnetic gas engine there. And the spaceship was to make sure the power coming back from out there was not too much to go through the generator and blow it up. So if 1 megawatt went out, and it has to be 1 megawatt when it comes back in, or when 1 megawatt goes in, there might be 1,000 megawatts go out north, that's out, to go right out to power up all the stars and the sun and the moon, and come back into the south. And it's got to be less than the current. If 3,000 megawatts went out from the north and came back to the south, it's got to come back through the field windings at a lower rate. Otherwise, the generator will overheat and burn out. See, it's a regulator. That north is a regulator that's been uncovered by the melting ice. You see? So God must have got ready to shift his earth over and expose the truth about who invented this earth and where the Moai is controlling it from East Island by telepathy. Okay, frequency telepathy. What I think is what the Moai thinks and transfers that way. The information goes from Moai to me and from me to Moai, regardless of anybody in East Island, because I've got an inherent right to talk about the Moai, and they can tell their own story because they've been colonized. They can't talk raw talk because the Moai and the god Atua said, come to New Zealand and find the sun. And that's what they did. They went straight to Te Pito there, and that's where they sailed in, went there, and come in, straight in, and park themselves. Yeah, that's the story of how we are interconnected through Greenland, statue on East Island, to Greenland, their spaceship. You can see on the flag that I've got, it's got a little spaceship on it. And you'll see on my tidal energy photo of the Pacific, it's got a spaceship in it. That was done in 2009. I put that together in 2009, that was going to happen. Okay, well, if it's supposed to happen in 2012, then it went to 2018. I made another business plan with the same thing in 2018, and now it's 2026 with the same plan I'm putting up on the website. Okay, same things, but the story's still the same. Never changed. Everybody else has changed. They change like the wind, blow like the wind, come in and blow out. Yeah, so Richard's not ringing. He should have rang me by now after ringing Eddie Mitchell. I'm just giving him a few minutes. That's why I'm hanging around, to wait for him to call me. Why? So I don't have to race and panic to get back on the video again. How long is this now? 49 minutes. So I'll just give it another 10 minutes and make it 1 hour. Then I'll switch it off and reset it again to catch him on the video for the next video, because I need to go and do the court hearings now and put all my videos that I told him I would put up on the on the documents before I send them to him, because it's been 3 days now he's waiting for court hearing number 97, and now court hearing number 98 is the spaceship in Greenland. That's that one. Who's claiming that spaceship? Who is claiming it? I want to see who's claiming it. Americans are there. They say they found it. No, it was there before they went there. And it's just that it's by nature that the Earth was tilting every year over a bit more. It's gone more to Russia, and now Russia's getting covered in snow. Their buildings getting covered up. Next minute, there'll be the ice age. It'll be buried. All of Russia will be buried under the snow. No more Russia. They'll go and live in Greenland, but those people there want their land and their minerals, but I don't want them to touch the minerals. Forbidden to pull the minerals because this earth will stop functioning if you damage the magnet and take the minerals. The magnet will get less and the earth will stop turning. Right? It won't turn because every electric motor has got magnets. If you overheat it, it will burn out and stop. Well, if you do take out the minerals from a battery, it's a battery. The Earth is a battery, motor, generator, a DC electric motor, battery, generator. And if you take the minerals out of it, that makes it work just like a normal battery. Something's going to happen. It'll be like a flat battery. You see, it'll go flat and stop turning. And then next minute you'll be falling off the earth because there's no more magnetism. Everybody's a magnet that will refuse to be worked. They'll fail to function properly because you're feeding off the earth. Your magnetic field in your body is a conductor to the earth. Same as those stars out there. There are dust that's blown out, bits of fragments from the earth. Okay, and they've fallen off, gone out, floated away in space. All the space junk, like things left in space, they get burnt up because they're flying too fast. Then they break in little bits and become stars. They grow with the hydrogen, and the helium makes them grow into stars. That's why you see twinkling. It's those planets that are little ones. Okay, so there, that's all. I'm getting tired and better have a rest. Okay, I'll catch you later. Bye. What's the time now? 12:02. 12:02. And we'll wait for Richard. I'll get a reset and wait for him to call. Okay, so I know where I am at the moment. I've got people waiting to be paid, and I want to get on with a letter of credit because Richard's got to find out whether it's real or not, if it's a real case or not. All he has to do is talk to Eddie Mitchell and tell him we've got a court hearing. He appear. I'm waiting for him to tell him to appear in court in Hamilton and a date to go to because that's what he's got to do, argue it in court under their jurisdiction. Okay, I'm going there with my own jurisdiction over their jurisdiction. I won't get on my feet and say anything. I'll just leave it in the cloud. That whatever they say is immaterial to what I say. All I want to do is find out if Eddie pinched the money and then get out of it. That's all I need. A letter to say from Richard to say, yes, he did steal it. It's yours. Then I take that to the bank and draw on it against the 970 million trillion pound note. Anything I want. Any amount, anything. Even the 17 trillion, which is part of the bigger pound note. Okay? It's going to make the money sing above the US fake fiat money, the British fake £1 note that hasn't even got a patent. And how you got it? Well, you went through the back door without Parliament's authority. Okay? You never got the royal assent, so that means it is null and void, and you're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for crookeding people and still screwing them now. They're losing their money on the crypto because it's not guaranteed. And you're saying, oh, we'll recover your money, but we'll pay a percentage to get it back. If you get your crypto stolen, we can get it back because they know how to crook it. That's why. Those people who recover the money know how to crook people to get money. Then they know how to get it back and charge you to get it back. See, that's the trick. They're tricksters. just like Eddie Mitchell, tricks does. Well, the trick is over. House of Cards will fall once Eddie Mitchell is taken out. Then the next one, hit the next one, next one, next one. Like dominoes, they'll fall over. Okay? Nothing to prove. Nothing to see here. It's all fully disclosed. That's what I'm saying to Richard. It's in the letter, all these stuff I sent him. It's fully disclosed. There's no need to go looking for things because I've done all the research and done all the investigations. And it's just to tell people to open their mouths about what part of the fraud they're in. Okay? And that goes for all the lawyers here, all the judges. You're liable. You're being liable by Eddie Mitchell. Yeah? You get one, you get a lot. That's what's going to happen. That's what I'm recording here for the robot. I'm sending this to him in a moment, and he'll put it on the record, what I'm saying. I said to him, keep all the bad bits out. Just put the good bits, right? Just shove out the bad bits. Leave them there, though, but don't record them. Don't put them on the record because it'll spoil the record with thugs all over it. Just leave that out. Don't name anybody, but just go and leave that to Richard. Richard will do it. Just make the thing look nice and clean. He says, make it clean. So he'll just make the video clean, take all the dirty bits of swearing out, and then he'll tidy it up. Okay? Okay. Bye-bye for now. See you later. Bye. In.